Hey yo, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Slime, slime, slime. It's your boy Maine the Milkman, and we back with another one. Yeah, man. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Today we talking about smart guy. Smart guy. He's a smart guy. Do 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 do. Smart guy. Smart guy. He's a smart guy. Do 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 do. That's for the people that grew up in the 90s, man. If you grew up in the 90s like I did, man, you definitely know what the heck I'm talking about. But we talking about a different smart guy. Shout out to Smart Guy. I actually got introduced to Smart Guy back when he came on My Expert Opinion. I think he came on My Expert Opinion about a year or so ago. Let's not get caught up in the dates. But ever since then, I kind of been following his journey and listening to a lot of his interviews and his philosophy and his story. And just to let you know, I like Smart Guy. This is not a show to go ahead and bash Smart Guy. I think Smart Guy is a very, very smart person. You know, he got the great name. You know, at first I thought the name was kind of arrogant. Like, who does guy think he is? Let me be the judge of whether you're smart or not. But nah, this guy, Smart Guy, he has a story to tell. And I do believe that he is very, very intelligent. But my only issue with Smart Guy is the fact that you can't go on people's platform and try to dictate, you know, their particular platform and tell them what they can and cannot do, what they cannot say, or what they should put out. You know, at the end of the day, when you have a podcast, you know, there's certain things that you have to do to protect the brand. You know, there's certain things that you cannot talk about, or you will risk, you know, losing your channel. You can miss losing sponsorship and all types of things. So sometimes there's politics involved when you're interviewing people. Just like the Drink Champs interview when Kanye went up there, they had to take the whole interview down because they felt as though he was disrespecting, you know, the Jewish community, and they said that he was what they call it, anti-Semitic, or, you know. So there's certain things that you cannot say going on people's platform. You know, just because he's, you know, another brother like you, I don't feel as though you should be taking advantage of certain opportunities. You know what I mean? We're not going to go on Jimmy Kimmel show and just say anything because, you know, he has sponsors involved and this is nighttime TV or whatever, Jay Leno back in the day or whatever, you know. So we have to understand that you have to respect people's brand, people's podcast, people's business, you know what I mean? So long story short, I'm about to show y'all right now, I'm about to pull up the clip right now. Smart Guy ends his friendship with Math Hoffa over censoring his interview. As far as he went in on the LGBT community, you know, and that's a big no-no, you know what I mean? There's two groups of people that you don't want no smoke with, especially on this side of YouTube. The Jewish people own everything. They own all the television stations, they own the internet, they own everything, you know what I'm saying? So you offend that particular community, they have the right to get you up out of here, blackball you, shadow ban you, all types of things. So there's certain groups of people you don't want to mess with. Obviously the LGBT community, you don't want to mess with those people either. They will get you up out of here, they will blackball you, they will do all types of things to boycott whatever it is that you got going on. You could talk about black people all day, talk about niggas day and night. You could talk, violate them, disrespect them. They might boost your algorithm if you disrespect us. And don't get me wrong, it's not fair, but Smart Guy, I don't feel as though that, you know, it was right for you to end a friendship with someone based upon them not wanting certain rhetoric on their platform. Whether what you were saying was accurate or not, sometimes things is best left, you know, unsaid on certain platforms. This is why it's good for you. Maybe other platforms, like if you was to come on Behind the Bar, I wouldn't censor you as far as if you want to go out there and speak your mind about a particular community. But I'm a smaller platform, so I'm not so much of a threat as far as, you know, risking losing any type of sponsorship because I don't have any sponsorship. But when you on some platforms that are, Math Hoffa's damn near almost at 1 million subscribers right now, you know, and you don't really want to risk, you know, offending communities, especially if these people are sponsoring your program or whatever the situation may be. I heard you say on the interview that you did, as far as, you know, him getting money with the LGBT community. If he does get money with the LGBT community, money is money at the end of the day. You know, money shouldn't be discriminated against for the most part. You know, if a LGBT community or wanted to sponsor Behind the Bar or whatever brand they had going on, I'm not going to turn them down. At the end of the day, business is business, personal is personal, and it is what it is. Never mix business with personal, especially when it comes to, I'm not going to turn down any type of commercials because they're promoting that type of community. If they want to do a commercial on Behind the Bar, I'm not going to say, no, take that commercial off my channel because I don't subscribe to that particular community. But that's neither here nor there. As we can see real quick, I'm about to pull it up right now. As you can see on the lower bottom half of the show, this is an interview that he did. Let me get the channel correct so you guys can watch the full thing on your own. So that is the show is called Set the Tone Podcast. It's a smaller channel. It only has about 5.28 subscribers, which means 5,280 subscribers. So they're fairly, a smaller channel. You know what I mean? So of course you could go on there and kind of, maneuver how you want to do, because that channel is probably just on the come up, right? So I'm gonna play a little bit of the audio that they were talking about, and Smart Guy explaining exactly how and why he ended his friendship with Math Hoffa. Let's talk about it.
You claim to put Math on to do a podcast.
I definitely did, 100%. I definitely did. Yeah, of course. I mean, but again, we in an era where people don't, so me and Math had a good relationship. We don't have one anymore.
I'm sorry, I had to stop that real quick. He says that he's the one who introduced Math Hoffa to podcasting. All right, so me, who has been in this game for 6 years, I seen exactly the moment when Math Hoffa started in the podcasting game. I was there watching it live and direct. Long story short, Queen's Flip is the person who first put Math Hoffa in that particular hot seat to be able to do some type of, podcast work. I was there. And funny story about that, that's the same day that he met his current girlfriend right now, Jenna. Long story short, there was a show where Queen's Flip got into a fight with one of his subscribers, one of his supporters outside the studio. Long story short, after they fought, Queen's Flip invited that man to the studio. They were sitting down, they were talking about the incident. Long story short, they ended up getting that same gentleman that got into a fight with Flip outside the studio, ended up getting jumped inside the studio by Queen's Flip and his cousin J.O. They beat up a man called Jihad. And after that, Queen's Flip lost like a lot of sponsorship and everything like that. I think he had a sponsorship with some type of beard company. And a week later, he had Math Hoffa in there as a guest on the show to kind of, in a sense, mediate the conversation as far as what happened in the studio that day, and held Flip accountable for that Flip was wrong. And he was pretty much on the microphone for the first time, in a sense, hosting the show, holding Queen's Flip accountable for what he did. So I seen that very moment in 2019, I want to say it was. 2019, was it 2019 or 2020? Right around there, I want to say more so 2019, when the whole thing went down 5 years ago. And ever since then, that's when he started his podcast at the barbershop. And fun fact, if you listen to this Smart Guy, the guy Space Ghost, who was the original producer of Queen's Flip show, Math Hoffa ended up hiring Space Ghost to be able to produce his show. So maybe you did, help influence it or whatever, but I can't give you that credit to say that you were the one per se, because I watched it live and direct when it was happening. And I want to say less than a year later, you know what I mean? That's when Math Hoffa started doing his own thing with Misfit and the other co-host that he had. I forgot the gentleman's name. So to say that you are the one that got him into it, I totally disagree. And I noticed that a lot about your personality, because like I said, I've been kind of, watching your journey and seeing what you was up to. And, you like to take credit for a lot of things that people say and do on the internet, whether they're right or they're wrong. I noticed that about you. Like, you kind of, bitter when you say, I believe you said like some rappers took some of your bars, Fabulous took your bar that you said in a song or whatever, and they plagiarized the things that you say in music and everything like that. And that may or may not be true. I haven't did my research on it. I'm not too acclimated with your music. Once I get acclimated with your music, I will definitely go and do my research to see whether what you're saying is accurate or not, as far as, rappers stealing your bars. I think you even said Joel Santana stole a bar or two from you, or whatever the situation may be. But that will go on a whole nother episode. Right now, we're focused on issues with Math Hoffa. So without further ado, let me continue playing exactly your fallout with Math Hoffa. Let's talk about it.
In an era where people don't, So me and Math had a good relationship. We don't have one anymore.
How was that?
You know, cause you know, partially take accountability. It was me. I told him don't call me. I felt some type of way because we had did an episode that they edited it out, and I spoke out against the LGBTQ. I don't support that shit. And so the guy on the joint, like, mind you, the same conversation. Math is so stupid because he should have let me go into detail about it. Because the same thing.
How you feel? How you feel?
It's a clip of me on YouTube, right? Talking about the LGBTQ, and I was talking with
a Chinese person,
China Mac.
China Mac, yeah.
Went viral, millions of views. But he was so shook of the conversation. Then the guy was like, they cut the cameras. Look, man, you know, this is how I get my money, and so basically you get your money off of homosexuals. Like, I don't know, like.
All right, so now he's sitting here. Now he's getting out of line as far as getting money with homosexuals. You know, like I said earlier, you know, if LGBT community wanted to do a sponsorship on Behind the Bar and the bag made sense, why would I turn it down? You know, most of these entities that we're watching are ran by the LGBTQ or ran by Jewish people. So if you're going to, in a sense, you say that you don't support the LGBT community, you're actually putting yourself in the box as far as your growth is concerned, because damn near half the world is LGBTQ. I mean, let's be honest. We're looking at right now because, you know, smart guy, you know, he's a rapper, and, you know, he had an opportunity to go through the Nori door, but he turned it down. You know, he explained on Math Hoffa show how, you know, they'll throw the stylist at you and they do this and they do that, and he explained that he was given the opportunity to, you know, go further in his music career, but he had to do some homosexual acts in order to do it. I say that to say this, now that we're seeing what's going on, even with the whole situation with Diddy, situation with Meek Mill, and all these other, you know, rappers that are getting exposed for being LGBT, this is the world that we live in, bro. It's like no way around it, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I get exactly what you mean, everything like that, but sometimes in life, man, you gotta sit back and just, you know when to hold them and know when to fold them, because it's going to stunt your growth. I'm talking to you, Smart. It's going to stunt your growth by talking about certain communities that holds the power to, you know, certain, you know, for lack of better words, opportunity. You know what I mean? And certain business opportunity. When I say opportunity, I mean business opportunities. Why close the door on potential sponsorships and business opportunities based upon your personal feelings about what people do in their bedroom? I think that's a way to kind of stunt your growth. But again, this is just my personal opinion. Let's talk about it.
Like, what you talking about?
But you know what? How long ago was that, though? That was a minute ago. Maybe his math is smarter than before.
Don't matter. I ran into no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Listen, so, because at the end of the day, you tried to censor someone who's not going to be censored, and Math knows that about me. You know, like, I'm not, and I don't, and it's funny with Math because I can't say nothing bad. We had a really good relationship before we had I wish I didn't do that podcast. Okay. Because I feel like I lost a good friend. Like, he was solid. Like, he like,
so it wasn't like goofy particular shit that really fucked it up. It's just solid, how you edited it.
Listen, when Math battled Hollow the Dawn, right? I helped him for that battle. I gave him the angles. I gave him the approach to go about it and all that. Publicly, he gave me the credit for it.
Okay.
Nobody's doing that, bro. Right? Anytime I would call him, come to the studio, whatever, he's pulling up. We had a solid relationship. So I just felt like, you know, but I'm uncontrollable. So I know he didn't really, because I'll go in. And I think he was afraid to have his platform snatched from him because it was a touchy topic. But I didn't respect that.
How can you not respect of a man trying to protect his brand? You just said it yourself. There's a possibility that he could have his platform snatched right underneath his feet. And just because you want to get your point across, you want to get in your feelings and unfriend him and be mad at him based upon him protecting his brand. And you just said it yourself out your own mouth that he was afraid of having his platform taken from him, but you don't respect it. Like, that's crazy to me. So once he loses his money and his platform, you back on living your life all normal, living your life like it's golden. Meanwhile, he got to start from the bottom or getting blackballed out. What is he trying to do? That to me is preposterous. I don't understand it, but I think that's very selfish of Smart Guy. And Smart Guy has a lot of his childhood was horrible. He tells a story about how his mom used to abuse him and beat him and neglect him and treat him like trash. And he has a lot of abandonment issues. His father, he met him one time at 11 and made some promised him that he gonna come move with him, and then they never seen him ever again. Met his father one time, and probably wasn't even his real father when you sit back and think about it. If his mother was running around with this man and that man, and he met his so-called father at 11, who says that's his biological father if his mother is that type of person that she is? I'm pretty sure they didn't have a committed relationship back when he was being conceived. She probably was doing her thing, he was doing his thing, and you meet him at 11 and so-called that's your daddy. If you got a DNA test, then all right, it's cool, but that's probably not even your daddy. Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Just because the mama said that's him right there, don't make it him. Especially if you met him at age 11. Who says that's your real father? You know what I mean? But we're going to get into that a little bit later on in this particular conversation, because this guy, Smart Guy, he has a really amazing story as far as where he came from and where he is now. You know what I mean? Did time in prison, cut a couple people. But now, he's kind of on a track of, very intelligent man. So I don't want nobody to watch this, any of his supporters or fans, or even him watching this, to think I'm by any means trying to violate him. It's just me giving my perspective on how you ended a friendship with Math Hoffa over some BS. I feel as though you should call that man. If you're watching me right now, call that man, give him a phone call, and figure that out, man. Don't blow that relationship based upon him trying to protect his brand. That's silly to me. But let's talk about it.
So we had we had
some words.
Nah, it was more so me, right? Like Math, my man. It's not really. It's more those you my brother. You can't bully me. Mm-hmm. I know I can't bully you. So we just gonna have to walk away.
Walk out.
I mean,
all right.
I slap box his bodyguard. You know what I mean? I'm nice with my hands. I'm dead nice with my hands, bro. So
you talking about? You're not talking about Bigger?
Yeah.
Bigger said he's not a bodyguard.
Oh, well, at the time.
I'm sorry, y'all. That is funny. He called Bigger his bodyguard. I'm sorry. That one right there, that one is hilarious. Bigger is not and never was Math Hoffa's bodyguard. Now, Bigger has a security firm that he owns, and he did hire people in this to protect him at the studio, to protect the people, the host and the guests at the studio. So Bigger owns a security company, but Bigger is not a security guard. I know a lot of people think he's a security guard, especially since he's really big and everything like that. But no, Bigger was just one of the co-hosts on My Expert Opinion. But no, Bigger is not a security guard. Just so he'll know that. He thinks he's the security guard. No, a Smart Guy. He's not.
Because when I met the first time I met Bigger.
Bigger said he is not a bodyguard.
The first time I met Bigger, Math had pulled up on me in the studio. He came to Platinum Sound. Late night, 2 in the morning. He had Bigger with him, you know what I mean? And we talking, and so me and Bigger, we get to, egos.
Y'all shit, yeah.
I'm like, motherfucker can't touch me. You know what I mean?
Bigger the man of God.
Nah, he good. I fuck with him. So we get to playing slap boxing and all that, whatever. You know what I mean?
Y'all really y'all started moving.
Word.
Techniques.
I had to show him, you know what I mean? People, you know what I mean? Like, hey man. But so the thing with Math, when Math had a situation with a disaster, I didn't even know all that shit happened.
Okay.
But he was telling me about it. I Googled it. I said, oh shit, it's late night. We was going to an event for a guy named Protect Your Heart, right? He's an artist, and he had this underground thing, right? And Math is in a car talking about, he's playing a song called Homework. He's dead set. He's not thinking about making a podcast. He got a car full of his Pac Juice t-shirts, and he's trying to find disaster to get his revenge or whatever. Okay. And I'm telling him yo, bro, man, fuck all that. Focus on this. Focus on this. Your merch, products. You need to make a podcast. You need to get into the. Hold on, let me show you something real quick. Let me just show you something, because I ain't never. Y'all get.
Shot.
Zoom.
Y'all getting exclusive. Nah, because people be hold on.
Real quick.
You said what?
It's funny how you could sit down and have a conversation with somebody and just be like, yeah, you should do this and you should do that and you should do this and you should do that and maybe we should do a podcast and X, Y, Z and everything like that. And if that person ends up getting a podcast in the future, they want to take credit and say, I was the one who inspired him to get a podcast. How do you know that that idea wasn't already implanted in his head or somebody already previously told him that, or it wasn't in the process of him trying to get a podcast? And I go back to what I spoke about earlier about smart guys saying that he's the reason why Math Hoffa has a podcast. Not necessarily. You know, I always say, you know, never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. You don't always got to publicize the things that you're trying to do in your life, because there are people out there that will, you know, throw a dart in the game and throw a little, you know, a wrench inside what you're trying to do to try to ruin it. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is.
You saying real quick, hold on. I want you to see something real quick.
Yo.
You saying real quick.
Take your time.
Yeah, nah, they gonna take me that long.
What?
I want you to see something. I want you to tell me, look, I want you to tell me the time. Look, timestamp. How many years you see? Just we ain't gotta say nothing. I don't want you to say it. I want you to just to see it.
I mean, I didn't get LASIK surgery, so I can't.
Yeah. I mean, all right.
Eight joints.
Yeah, chill. Listen, check it out, right? I was doing podcasts like this shit then. I just ain't really know how to put it out, and that wasn't even a thing. So I had showed Math that, right? And I was giving him the whole play for it. And he took it and he put it in motion. But I definitely for sure, and maybe somebody else gave him some more insight too, but I know for sure he ain't have no podcast, and I told him he needed to make a podcast, he needed to make his own show, he needs to make his own battle league. That's what I told him.
So when he did start making his own podcast, you went on there for an episode.
Yeah, but it wasn't like. But I never. The funny thing about me is, like, I think now, because I know people ain't solid, and I know it's not solid for me to call them out on not being solid. Right. So
you're being controlled.
Say it again.
So you're being controlled.
No, I mean, it's a lot of people I gave information to that took it and ran with it, and I never said nothing about it.
Okay. All right, like I told you earlier, he has a lot of issues with his mother, but he's very talented. He wrote a beautiful poem pertaining to how his mother treated him growing up. Let's talk about it.
Like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. No support from my mother. Sometimes I wish I would have came from a different pussy. C-section, even in birth, she didn't push me. Every other week you got a new man in the house. Got the nerve to point to him like he the man in the house. And they all wanted me to call him dad. They wanted me to call him. I grew up confused. I got beats. I was black and blue. You wonder why I'm in school, acting a fool, cutting class, picking fights, couldn't follow the rules. You know, free lunch won't cut it because I'm still hungry. So I need food. Hooked up with Daryl, making moves now. Yeah, mama, making moves now. Put a pins woman out. Left me in the system. Plus you ain't called back. That ain't love. What you call that? If you ain't want a son, mama, shit.
Left me in that boy.
She left me in that ball sack. Two sides to the story, but I ain't having it because there's too many demons inside I got to battle with. Fuck whoever trying to play devil's advocate, because y'all don't understand most how real this is. I was just a kid, 5. Had to look my mama in the eyes, half sleep, half high, and you wonder why I'm outside, smoking weed, pistol in my pocket, throwing up gang signs. You a junkie, mama? How you gonna demand respect? I guess you beat me because I look like the man that left. I spit an image of my daddy. That's why you slap me? Can nothing please you? You ain't never happy. Straight A's on report cards getting ripped. Christmas, birthdays, I ain't get shit. Every man I see you with, call you bitch. Yo, dog, this is what I deal with. Sometimes I feel me like a motherless man, nigga. It feels like God cursed me and my brothers, cause all I do is suffer, and the pain came from my mother. But the rose won't grow from this concrete. Tupac, you tripping? Roots getting pulled out, pedals getting stepped on. Came home high, beat me half to death. You said that I slept wrong. Bloody tampons, empty bottles of liquor, cracked valves on the same bed I slept on. How the fuck could I sleep wrong? You got me laying on the bed I could barely even sleep on. This is my life, man.
Dom the Monko.
Beautiful, beautiful poem. Beautiful poem. I heard him say something earlier that he had a show with China Matt, but I think he was talking about Upper Cut Podcast. But like I said earlier about even his father, you know, he has abandonment issues. You know what I mean? So when somebody shows him any type of disloyalty, you know, he gets, you know, in his emotions. This is him talking about. This is a smart guy talking about his relationship with his father.
Beat me now.
Now it's a different perspective because, you know, majority of people, you know, they look at moms like, yo, this is my everything. Like, you know, I look at moms, that's my everything.
Because the mother had the love.
Yeah.
You're gonna love what loves you. Period. Gotcha. And a lot of times, you know, it's always from the male perspective, like the deadbeat daddy. There's no accountability for the women. You see? So I ain't have neither. I didn't have my pops, I didn't have my mother. And my mother.
Where was your pops?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, you never even mentioned?
Nah, the last time I saw my pops, right? I was 11 years old, and I was in Crossroads playing basketball. So my pops, you know, I'm going crazy in the gym. I'm nice. So the CEO, he like, yo, your son, he got some skills. He going crazy. Yo, he could probably do something. So my pops is like, yo, what you want to do? I want to live with you, Dad. I want to live with you, Dad. He like, well, I live down. I said, yo, I don't care where you live. I want to live with you, man. So I already had this whole vision of like, okay, when I get out, I'm gonna play basketball. Yeah. That was the last time I saw my father.
He didn't even follow up to take you in.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like Jeffrey Dahmer, he was one of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims, man. What the fuck happened? Like, you know what I mean? He just word. Jeffrey Dahmer. He was in the bounce away, man. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So it kind of, you know, it
to this day, since 11,
it was over. The last time I saw him,
even with what you got going on,
it's too late now.
Reach out.
It's too late now.
I understand it.
It might not even be safe to reach out.
But has there even been a reach out?
It's right.
It's safe to reach out.
Yeah, man. I couldn't find that the way he said about the LGBT community with China Mac. I couldn't find that. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to the episode of Behind the Bar. The more of the story is, hey yo, smart guy. You know, if you listen to this, man, I think it's a good idea for you to mend the fence and fix a relationship with Math Hoffa. I think it's not that serious, and you have to understand where he's coming from to protect his brand. With that being said, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to Behind the Bar. Find me on Instagram at behind_DABAR. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share it out, and it is what it is. I'm off this joint. Peace.
Moonlight.